So I do want to say thank you to all of you who are constantly consistent about being on the calls. And to those of you that when you're not, you go back and listen to the replay. I said this to the 3 people that did Sherry's work, because of 4 people that did Sherry's work, they've had success and they've had breakthrough. And they've had things that some people were like, oh, it was the best call ever, and they didn't do any of the work. Oh, it was the best call ever, and they didn't do any work. The reason that a lot of things don't have, and I'm going to use an example for you guys, and welcome to the call for those of you who are just joining us. If you see some people that are normally on, text them and say, let them know that we're starting. Because tonight I'm going to go over some things that I taught at the Building Depth event 3 months ago, because we're getting ready to have another one next week. I'm super excited. For those of you who still have an opportunity to go, you need to go. If you've not been to a Building Depth event, you should go to all of them because of what's going to happen in 2020. But what you learn from 23 elites in 2 days, now up to 30 elites, you're not going to find in LifeVantage. Never before have there been 30 elites on the same page. And so I want to encourage us. I found this very intriguing when I was at a board meeting at my church, and how things transpired. And 80% of the giving is done by 20% of the church. And I thought, wow, that's in everything that we do. That's in sales. That's in consistency and people who work for other people. It's consistent in everything. I remember I was with Paulette Snipke, and one time I met a guy that had signed up, and I said to him, in your gyms, he owned like 4 gyms. I said, what percentage of the sales comes from, he said, it's the 80-20 rule, Mike. He said, even with people showing up for meetings and showing up on time. And look, this is not an easy business. But like I said to my friend Tim Douglas, you guys are going to meet Lisa and I about, and I will never do this, but I'm going to tell you why I'm doing what we're doing. We're about to enroll some people, but I'm not going to, I will not tell you to do this, but we're not going to enroll them in the middle of moving, okay? They've begged us. We gave them product to get through this system, and then we're going to enroll them. One of them is going to be in Ireland, and she's from the United States and Ireland, went to college here. I've already connected her with the elite distributors in Ireland, G. Fletcher, and the ones over there already. My friend Tim Douglas, who actually is in a network marketing company with a $60,000 leg, and his check is nothing, okay? So he has as much as Lisa and I do, and we have a great check, right? And I'm doing a presentation for his wife this week. He wants his wife to be on board. And she's actually said, Tim, if I could ever find something that has value and substance, I would do it with you. I just have never found it. And Tim said, Mike, we have found it, as you know. And so the constant things that we hear about follow-up and consistency in follow-up and doing those things, and
loving people where they're at.
And loving people where they're at, like Lisa said, just encouraging people. So I'm going to have somebody share that has done the work and who I've done 2 one-hour calls with this week. And then I'm going to go in to the social media training that I put together that I've got set up in my schedule this week and next week, even though I'm moving. I'm going to finish December with a bang, and then I'm going to run for the first 6 months of 2020. It's why we're moving. I'm ready for a fresh start. Lisa's ready for a fresh start. We're excited, guys. We don't care what's happened with our business. And we both have said this, we're committed. We're more committed than we've ever been committed before. And look, we want you to be the same, but we're not going to push you or or drag you along with us. There's a lot of you that have been involved in this business for a long time that I've constantly told I believe in you. Some of you have full-time jobs. Man, 90% of the elite distributors had full-time jobs when they started this. I believe we're going to see the biggest rush in the next 3 years of elite distributors.
We got started.
Yeah, we did. We did. I know, both of us. I was working 60 hours a week.
Yeah.
So the biggest part about that is, so here's how tonight's going to go. I'm going to bring somebody on just now that's new to LifeVantage, and you guys have heard her talk before, but I was encouraged by her. And I know that, she shared some stuff with me that her and her boyfriend had talked about, and then it encouraged me. And then I just, I asked her if I could tell her some things that she might be mad at me. And she said, I can never be mad at you. And I said, well, okay, that lets me know that I can share some things that are tough with me to share with you. And I told her those things. Now, look, you're going to have the opposite of what you're about to see tonight. You're going to have people get mad at you and say, I don't want to talk to you anymore. That happens. We've wanted this more for people than they've wanted it self. And I just experienced some stuff this past weekend that you can look at things from both people's perspective. Somebody asks you and begs you for help and says they're your friend. That may not always be the case. And my pastor and I talk about it all the time. We'll have people that we think are going to be in the church forever, and the next thing you know, they're gone. And you don't know why, and you don't know what happened. And, the church is thriving, and people are giving, and then all of a sudden, you have a 50% drop in your tithes and offerings. Doesn't make sense, but you keep moving forward because you're doing what God told you to do. I said this last week, faith is doing what you're supposed to be doing in LifeVantage, even when it's not working or even when it doesn't make sense, but it will work. So let me see if she's on here now. Let me unmute her. All right, I'm going to make her I think I have to make her a co-host for her to use her screen, right, babe? Mm-hmm. All right, make co-host. Yes. Hold on one second. There she is.
Here I am.
What's up?
Hey.
How are you? Guys, so I couldn't see you, so I don't know if you were laughing at me or chuckling inside when we were talking about that. But so Destiny and I had some really good calls after Sherry's call, and then going forward after Clinton and Kimberly's call. And
Before she goes, share about the church.
Okay. Well, did you talk to her?
No, but I just wanted to let you know, for those who did homework, we are still pending her sending over that training, and she's on a cruise right now. So she got rehab, and we've asked her 3 times already, and I know she'll do it. So, we apologize and just ask for your patience.
Yeah, and we'll get the rest of it. Because, guys, to be honest with you, there was only a couple people that did it. And Destiny was one of them. She sent me her stuff. Tracy did it. Stacy did it. Linda did it. And what was cool about it is some things evolved for Destiny as she went through all this stuff, like personal stuff, like changes in her faith and self and in her limiting beliefs and all these stuff. And guys, that's what this is about. You can't be a part of LifeVantage and not have those changes. I'm a better husband. I'm a better friend. I'm a better leader because I'm in LifeVantage and because I never quit. So many people quit because it's hard, and Destiny and I talked about this.
LifeVantage is the transformational forest. You don't know how you're going to be transformed.
We just saw, Destiny, you'll appreciate this because you have children. Mm-hmm. It just drug me to see Frozen 2. So, and it was, I went and saw it and I sat in it.
One of the comments Olaf made was how the Enchanted Forest is transformational.
Yeah.
But you don't know exactly what that means until after.
Well, what's so funny is when Frozen 1 came out, it was when I was going through kind of a rough time, and my kids inspired me with Let It Go, Let It Go. I mean, you don't know how many times I was singing that in my head, just let it go. So
Yeah.
you're not going to be listening to me, Michael. You're going to be singing those songs you just heard in your head this whole call. I already know.
I was kind of sad. I thought, I mean, for those who haven't seen it, I
The
thought,
Frozen prayer, let it go.
yeah,
Let it
and
Let
I
it go.
thought was going to die or whatever, you know, and so I'm going to, Destiny, I'm just going to, and if you want to share your,
Okay.
you can do that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
she can share some of the things that she's learned here, you know, the last couple of weeks, some of the conversations and stuff that we've had that's been very good for her. And I told her, I said, anytime that you do something like this and you step out and you're all those fears and doubts and worries and everything that happens from the past comes to the forefront. And we talked about that. We actually had 2 really good conversations about that. And
Mm-hmm.
as you go through that, you can see that that's how it happens. So I know you got your screen up and you're going to share, so I'll let you.
Yeah, and this is kind of the first time I've done this live. I've practiced a couple of times, but I just kind of threw this together with my notes. So I'm just going to wing it. But I just want to encourage everybody that hasn't done this yet that I actually did not do this until this past week, because the whole time Sherry was going through it on the call, I'm in my head doing it, you know, but I didn't actually do the homework. And so, but after we talked about it last week and he said only 2 people did it, I felt really convicted to just go ahead and do it. And so when I did it, something about putting it on paper just changed a lot of things for me. And so I just encourage y'all to do that for sure. But and the other thing is, so like Michael said, you know, it's changed a lot of things with the way that I see things. So things have been progressing very slowly for me. Well, not at all for the most part. So, one thing that I just want to encourage people, that if you're having a hard time getting going, or if it was going and now it's slowed down, is just to stop and just get back to your strengths, just the things that you're good at. Sometimes we get so discouraged, and I know I have gotten so discouraged with the way things are going with my LifeVantage business, that I forget there's a whole lot of stuff that I'm really good at. And so after talking with Michael and then another mentor of mine also, I've found that I need to work on some of the things that are just I'm really good at, even if it's unrelated, because it's going to build my confidence up. And so when my confidence is built back up, I'll be better at what I'm doing, and things are just going to start to fall into place. So, and what you're looking at on the screen is one of them. So this is not, it's kind of distorted, but so I've been doing a lot of social media training, like Michael's going to get into, but I've also I started getting into making my own content and trying to just create a brand for myself, even though I'm not selling anything just yet, just creating something of my own. And so I've had a lot of fun working with graphics and stuff like that. So that's how I kind of threw this together. So the project was, what's your vision, and give it a name. So mine already had a name, Advantageous Destiny. So basically that's just, for me, it's a future that's to my advantage for once. So and let's just go on. So let's see. All right, here we go. You might see me making a little weird face because I don't know what I'm doing here. So just bear with me.
You're doing great.
So let me go back here. Let's see. All right, so build your vision and name it. So my ultimate vision, of course, for all of us, it's financial freedom, time freedom. Ultimately, that's what we're all looking for. But what I really want, and I was told by a counselor of mine that this is a very good vision to have, because this is not one that has an ending point, that I will have to, once I achieve it, I'll have to find something else to go be striving for. So my ultimate vision is I want to build some sort of ministry, or vision, prison or jail outreach. I'd like to get my hair product into the hands of women that are incarcerated, into maybe their Christmas package program, where the shampoos and conditioners could be given to them. And some people may not agree with that, but there are people in jail and prison are human beings, and I feel like sometimes they probably wake up and they don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. So maybe they could help their hair and help a little bit of their heart, So anyways, and then I've also found out doing multi-level marketing that we are actually the only industry that does not restrict felons or ex-cons from joining the business. Now, if they are not willing to do the self-development, personal growth portion of it, they're never going to succeed anyways. So that'll wean out the bad ones. But I would like to be able to give an opportunity to those women coming out, of prison or rehab programs, to be able to have a company of their own through LifeVantage. And it'll give them the personal growth and development courses, like I said, and they could really change their lives. And it gives them something of their own. A lot of people have a hard time finding jobs. And so not only will they have a job, but they'll have a career. They'll own their own business. That's a huge thing for somebody if they really want to turn their lives around. And I want to build a team of motivators. So I have a great story that is still developing. So my whole thing is I would love to turn my mess into a message, have my setback be my comeback. But I got to kind of have that. Some people think I probably already have came back, but for me, I'm still going. And I want to have that, where is she now story, where people look at me and they don't even see anything that is in my past. Like, what do you mean that was her? So I would love to be able to be some sort of life coach and build a team of those type of people that want to encourage people that really want to, do something with their lives. And I want to be a part of a development team that builds incorporation of our products into drug rehab detox programs. So I've done some research and found that the NAD is actually, and I don't know all the details, but is actually something that they offer to people in detox programs where they pay tons of money to have these injections. And so all those kind of things kind of go together. And I think that would be a great program. I'd love to see what kind of studies they could find on what that would do in that sort of setting. So that's the ultimate vision. My purpose, like I said, turn my mess into a message, make all my drama and pain worth it. Because like I said, I've got a story to tell. And if it's wasted, I can't even imagine that. Like, that just can't happen. So, and, I want to help others turn their setbacks into comebacks too. So if I'm going to do that, my 3 areas of focus that I need to be working on are personal growth and self-development, improve my own self-image, my respect for myself, my confidence level. My second one would be building relationships, adding value to people's lives. So I'm on a mission. If I can't add value, then I have no place in their lives. So I just need to move forward. So add value to people's lives, leave no person or place left in worse condition than with the way I found them. So, all right, let's see if I can, trying to move this so I can see the bottom. Okay.
Let me ask you a question before you go on. All right. So what did it do for you writing this out?
Made me feel a lot better, because when I think about the LifeVantage stuff, I'm having a really hard time talking to people. I talk a lot, and I usually don't have any problem talking, but it's talking a whole lot about nothing. And so, but putting this vision on paper, knowing that this is my platform to be able to do something a lot bigger, it just encouraged me that I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. I know I'm supposed to be doing this. So
cool. That's good.
Yep. Thank you. And
thought on your care package for women.
Mm-hmm.
Forget about the facial, the skincare line.
Oh, most definitely. Now, the only reason I didn't mention that is because I am horrible about doing skin stuff. So, like, I love it. How
much younger you look. We were just how much younger you look.
Well, that would be for my NRF2 activation from the inside. But I've done the skincare, but I have to, that's one of my things about being more consistent, more intentional. I have to remember to do that more, but yeah, that's definitely part of it. I think that would be great. I'd love to get all of them in the hands of people that want to turn their lives around. And then, so my other area of influence would need to be, I need to recruit influencers. So I need to build a team of like-minded, passionate individuals that want to improve the lives of others as well. So yeah, I can talk to everybody because everybody can benefit from our products, but I want to talk to some people that really, truly want to give back, and they see the value of our products, and they're trying to improve lives also. So the next page is a mess, y'all, but this was just my notes and everything. So let's see. I don't know how to make this thing go away here. Okay, so the top is just a bunch of, okay, so resources and tools. So basically, what do I need in order to get here? So LV coaching, or program, something that's going to help me develop my story. So LV coaching, my motivational YouTube videos, life coaching courses, because ultimately tools and resources, I'm going to be my greatest asset. So I'm going to be it. My story will be what helps me develop this. And then I have a few people that are in ministries, so that I'm really close to, and I actually work with them on different levels for other things. I refer people to them, but it's all about networking with people, and I'm already kind of building my network. I just haven't utilized that with the LifeVantage stuff, but when I got to thinking about it, there's so many different people. My boyfriend's dad's a chiropractor. I used to work for an ophthalmologist. I go over to the American Legion. There's members, patrons, community service workers, that all sorts of things. And so I really just think that linking up with some people that like I said, are out in the community doing things, helping people already, I think that would be a great thing. And then, okay, so in order to reach my goals, this was kind of hard. So if I'm going to do this, where do I need to be in 1 year? Well, I had written down when Sherry came to Atlanta that I was going to be Pro 6 by April 2020. So we shall see. That's so I wrote that down, and I said, or just have enough leverage to income to be able to breathe. So, I mean, honestly, if I could just be able to breathe, to be able to not focus so much on the money, but focus on having the resources to be able to do more. Because that's my biggest thing. I really just want to be able to do well enough to be able to be on every product, and to make sure my family's on every product. And from there, everything should just grow on its own. So if I'm going to get there, what do I need to do in 90 days? So my 90-day goals, by 90 days, I should be able to talk to anyone and everyone with confidence and without hesitation. I should be contagious and on fire for my purpose, and and everybody should see it. Shouldn't be a problem. So if I'm going to get there, where should I be in a week? First, I need to start with doing what I say I'm going to do. And I'm so bad about that. It doesn't seem like, you hear it so many times in our trainings, and it just goes in one ear and out the other. But when you really think about how much there is that it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow, or just the smallest little things, it's really bad, and everybody probably needs to work on it a little bit, but I know me especially. And so do what you say you're going to do always. And then I just put do it, follow behaviors. And in 1 week, I should be able to talk to at least one person, one time, do the whole process, invite, present, and follow up at least once. And then somebody said something in a call, and I wrote this down. Systems are there for a reason. Save yourself time, energy, and money. So it makes sense when you think of it that way. And then I went to a counseling session this week, and I figured out that one thing I need to be really working on is my psychological flexibility. And there's some YouTube videos on that. And that's basically being able to roll with the punches. That's accepting yourself for who you are, what you are, and just being able to work with it, or taking an action step to change it. And one thing that I did not write on here, but he told me to remember, was USA. Anytime you see an American flag, anytime you hear USA, don't, of course we think of America, but what you need to think of is unconditional self-acceptance. So if you do that every time you see an American flag, you'll be speaking some good things into your life, thinking some good things. just to sum it up, create a pathway easy to follow to get myself and others to our advantageous destiny. It will be simple, but not easy. So that's that. I had some other notes, and I can share this with people. I won't go into all this because I want you to get into social media stuff, because I really think that people need to hear that. But basically, simplicity is paramount. These are just a list of things that I wrote down, some affirmations that I decided that I needed to start speaking to myself every day. I will present. I will, be more intentional. So different things. And I think it went away. I'm not sure where it went. Let's see. My sharing went away here. Okay, let's see. Couldn't see it anymore. Sorry, guys. Okay, so my pain is my leverage. And that's the thing, that instead of feeling sorry for myself, I need to sit back and think about, even the bad days, even the things that are not going great in my life, it's just going to be one more notch in my belt. It's just one more thing that's going to be, well, I can talk about that in the future and say, well, I went through this, but now, I learned from it. And then now we have this. And then of course I like to end everything with, because I can, because I am able, and because I matter, because that just inspires me so much. And let's see, I think that was pretty much it. So I'll turn it back over to you, Michael. Thank you. I was so nervous doing this today. I've talked on here a billion times, but I guess it's just so personal, close to home,
No, you did awesome. So
thank you.
Let me just do this real quick, because there's a good amount of people in here now. Does anybody have a question or a comment about this? Because guys, look, a lot of you guys have potential. Destiny and I talked about this. I said, Destiny, I believe in you. And she said, Michael, I know she's okay with me saying this, because she's very transparent, very humble. I remember when she said to me, I didn't know this at the time, but Brandon, her boyfriend, was listening to our conversation on the phone. And I told Destiny, I said, when I told her this, I said, I hope you're okay with me. And she says, Michael, just tell me what you want to tell me, right? And when she walked in the house, Brandon said, seems like that Michael Huey guy knows you pretty well.
Yeah, he said he doesn't even know. He said he doesn't even know your story, and he nailed you. I was like, he has you pegged. I was like, oops.
Well, and here's what's good about that is iron sharpens iron. And when we somebody that there's people, and I'm not going to point anybody out. There's people that are on these calls. They hear the James Hyden and the Marcells and everybody. Next week I'm going to have probably one of my favorite teachers in Life Fantasy, Erica Dale, is going to be on next week, and she did a really cool thing at Elite Academy in Long Beach when she said, if you knew me before Life Vantage, please stand up. And there was like 7 people that stood, and she said, if you're on my team, stand up. And then like 40 some other people stood up. And I was like, wow, what a way to just knock it out of the park, right? Like right from the beginning, just say, hey, this is what I did, and you can do the same thing, right? And it was multicultural people, different people from, different age groups and different brackets. And it's just that she took the systems and put them into place, and she did what it took. She took customers up. She upgraded them to distributors. She educated her customers. She owned 2 gyms, which is basically 2 full-time jobs, and made Pro 7 in 2 years. So, I mean, it's the availability to do this is in our hands. We just have to decide if we're going to do what Destiny did, write it out, speak it out. I told Destiny this, speak it out, and then walk it out, right? So before we move on, is there anybody on here that wants to make a comment or ask a question or anything before I move on to this next section? Because there's a lot of people on here that just listen and they don't comment or they don't ask a question and they don't know. Like, I really like what Destiny said here at the end when she said, today I will invite, today I will present, today I will add value, today, I will build depth. My pain is my leverage. I am intentional. I am persistent. A lot of this stuff, I started watching her learn and talk and say. She learned because she was very active when we did the John Maxwell study. Like, I saw her talk about certain stuff in our conversations. We had 2 50-minute conversations back-to-back days that were very powerful. But then she went out and she says, Michael, I'm really tired of talking about this. Like, it's my time. It's my time. It's my, my boss has leveraged with me and worked with me, and I get in that, I'm doing the things. And I want to do this. I want to help people. Guys, those are the 1% and 2% people that you're looking for. So I know there's a chat down here. Okay, Therese said it. Thank you, Destiny. Anybody want to make a comment? Or maybe you want to make a declaration like, hey, I listened and I haven't been doing anything. Maybe that's something. So let's just take a couple minutes. Maybe you have a question or a comment. If anybody has something, go ahead.
I will say,
I love the part about you saying, because I can, I am able, and I matter. That really hits home.
Destiny, go ahead. I think you're going to say something else.
yeah. So I want to say that, sometimes, like I said, we do get discouraged. Okay, my direct upline, Miss Beth and Mr. Fred, Beth is like a superstar. She's a superstar. And, and so sometimes I get so discouraged because I can't do it like Beth, and we're all different. But Beth and Fred encourage me so much, and not everybody has people like them that you're around every single day telling you there's greatness within you like I do. But even with me having them, like, I still get down on myself. It really helped me when, Michael and Lisa have talked about, vulnerabilities with bad things happening with the financials and the business and everything. And for me, sometimes the vulnerability thing, it helps to encourage me a little bit more, because that everybody goes through things, but they still pull through. And like I told Michael, I am great with planning. I am great with organizing. Execution, I am horrible at. But I think most of that, yeah. Yeah. And for me personally, I feel like, I keep hitting these roadblocks because I do need to work on some more personal development, type things. And I need to work on those things, because otherwise I'm just going to be out there going full force 100%. And I'm not going to be adding a whole lot of value to people's lives, because I'm not going to be 100% myself. So, so it's okay to be kind of, slow, if you have to be. And like Michael said, they're not going to enroll anybody till January. When he said that really, it made me feel better to be a part of their downline, because there's so many calls that I've been on. They're just like, do it no matter what, sign them up no matter what, get people, and so don't wait till you're perfect. Don't wait. And the thing is, you want to be able to get somebody on your team, then you're going to be able to give them good quality training and give them the time and effort they deserve. And so Michael and Lisa, waiting until January to enroll, they could enroll as many people as they want to this month, but they know with the move and everything, they're not going to be able to do that, and to give them the time they need. And so that encouraged me a lot. So I just wanted to say that. And I'm proud of the company and the downline that I'm in now. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. And it's just like I saw today, I see that Amy's on here, Ben's mom, Amy Chapman. She just retired. And and she said, Michael, I'm ready. She says, I'm ready to move up. She's been attending events. And guys, it's hard. Like when you're a mom and you're working a full-time job and you're separated from your children, and it's tough. Anything is tough. Destiny told me about her story, and there was stuff I didn't even know. I did a podcast interview with my friend Joe Martin a couple weeks ago, and several LifeVantage distributors listened to it, and they called me and said, bro, I feel like I know you totally different. Many of you are not telling your story. You're holding back. You're keeping things from people. I haven't said this, but I'll say it to him now. Like I had just recently had a long talk with Chris, and there was some things that Chris told me that about transformation with his job and promotions and stuff that have happened and what's happened financially. I didn't know that stuff. I was like, dang, like, that, there's so many people that sign up in this business that either quit or don't do anything. And Destiny said it great. Like, it's their limiting beliefs in themselves. They just don't see themselves as being successful. And so many people want to do their own thing. So before I go into my next part, does anybody else have one or two more comments or suggestions or something they want to say? Anybody at all? You can unmute yourself. and just make a comment, or if not, I'm going to move on. Anybody?
Well, since this is Linda, and since I did the Sherry Hollenbeck exercise, you know, I told you, Mike and Lisa, that I wasn't doing massage therapy now. I do craniosacral, Reiki. I do nursing full time, but I really miss doing the massage therapy. And so I'm actually looking into a Saturday job. I'm checking out 3 places, and I'm very excited about that because I'm very passionate about it. And those are the folks who are interested in alternative sort of things and things like that LifeVantage has to offer. So
I love that. Love that.
That's given me the push, and I'm talking to people, and things are opening up.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I've told Linda this. Like, I've told Linda, like, I see people making Pro 3 and Pro 5 and Pro 6 really quickly now. People in their 50s and 60s and 70s. All you have to do is be intentional. You have to do the little bitty things that it takes. And I'm gonna go through this pretty quick because I'm kind of limited on time. But I taught this at Building Depth, and I haven't had a chance to go through it all with you guys. But I've some of it I've shared. But guys, just do me a favor. Please put this in your schedule every week. Block out the time to do this stuff, and you'll be successful. I'm going to teach you about LinkedIn tonight. I'm going to teach you a little bit about some of the other social media platforms. I know that you've heard this, but some of you are doing the opposite of what you heard. Some of you are blatantly doing the opposite. Like, I think probably one of the best people on social media who just became the newest Pro 8 in our company is James Hyden. He's constantly piquing people's interest, right? I put this as the 3rd dot down. Don't claim to make a retirement of 6 months or any months, right? You are piquing people's interest, or are you trying to sell them? Ask yourself that question, okay? You see this picture that I did over here. Are you guys, I hope you guys are able to see this. Is everybody able to see this or no? Chris, are you guys able to see this? No, you're not. Way to go.
No, just see
Thanks.
you.
Okay. All right.
Disturbing.
So sorry, guys. I thought you could see me, and I apologize. I don't know why it didn't jump on there, but so you can see that I did this picture right here. This got me 13 customers. If you don't know what I'm holding, you should. If you do know what I'm holding, please tell me how it makes you feel or your loved ones. You know, Chris sent me some great texts from some guys this week that are now 300 or 400 PV customers. And Chris can tell you that that's better than 95% of our distributors, right? Those people are eventually not going to be able to keep this. What if that person is a $1,000 customer? You know, we're getting ready to implement the customer appreciation again. I used to have a guy who wasn't a distributor that had $1,000 in PV because he signed up his whole entire family on the products, and they're still taking them to this day. So trust me when I tell you this. Build relationships before inviting people. Stop trying to sell people and invite people and put things into fast gear. Add friends daily and take friends off. Guys, trust me on this one, okay? You don't need a lot of LifeVantage friends on Facebook. Take the majority of them off. They will be the only ones seeing your content. That's not what you want. You want people seeing your content that are not involved. You can follow people, but you don't have to be friends. There's a lot of people that I took off close to 200 LifeVantage people in the last 2 weeks. Guys, do it. Trust me. You don't want them seeing all of your content. They can go to your story and see your content. You want people that you're going to use to educate them on the products. Guys, I did a podcast interview with a young gentleman the other day who was a biohacking specialist. He'd been studying biohacking for 6 years and had never heard about our products. And he bought an Ultimate Stack on his own. He went to my website and bought an Ultimate Stack. And all as I did was I didn't talk about LifeVantage. I talked about pathways. I told my story. He went on his own because I followed the system. Okay? If you want what other people have, then you do what they do. You know, I've said this all the time. I love how Tim Cox shows pictures of him and his family, riding his bike, all the stuff he does. That's what we're doing. Lisa and I are doing it on a regular basis. Comment. Here's one I want you guys to focus on. Comment on new friends' posts as often as you can. 6 words every time you comment. 6 words. Okay, that's the new algorithm. 6 words. Okay, do Facebook Lives. Share your story. You got to get back to that. Lisa just said it works, right? Don't talk about the products. You can do stories about your product, but your lives don't talk about the products. Okay? Do them with other people. Dr. Brimhall is crushing it because he's bringing people on. They're not talking about the products. They're telling their story. There's people on here right now that have Facebook groups of 3,000 and 4,000 people. You know who you are, and you're not having anybody on your pages telling their story. You're not doing it. There's a lot of you guys that have big followings, but you're not taking advantage of the system. Guys, don't get offended. Destiny didn't get offended. I've had people tell, my friend Tim told me, you know, why won't you sign me up? Because I want to do things the right way from now on. I don't want to do things the wrong way anymore. How many of you are tired of doing things the wrong way? Right? Every time someone comments on your post, you comment back. Not just an emoji. 6 words minimum. Set it up. Don't be on there scroll liking. Just set it up a time frame. Be intentional. Destiny and I talked about that. Every time you get a customer, you put them in the biohacking product and insight group and you ask them if it's okay, right? That's what these groups are for. Her and I are now setting up to post in there every day. If you want to start posting stuff in there, do it. I'm going to have Dr. John and I work on some things to post in there, okay? So let's go over LinkedIn really, really quick, guys. If you don't have, do me a favor, spend 30 minutes a week on LinkedIn. A Saturday morning, a Wednesday evening, something. Set up an account and join some groups, okay? I have 10 groups right now. I just looked today when we were sitting. I don't work on Sundays, but right before we got on the call, I looked. I now have about 40 prospects from LinkedIn. How many of you would like to have 40 new prospects every single week? Okay, raise your hand on the little raise your hand thing, right? Okay. LinkedIn groups are a great way to build credibility, right? Make new connections that can ultimately grow your business. With over 1.5 million LinkedIn groups, it can be difficult to find relevant groups, right? I'm going to give you some insights on how to find quality groups. I recommend that you go ahead and join up to 50 groups, but then select 10 to spend your time in order to get the most benefit. Okay. Join 50, select 10, okay?
To spend the majority.
To spend the majority of your time. So here's the 4 tips. We're going to go through these pretty quickly. I've got about 10 minutes, and then I'll pause for the last 5 for questions. But use LinkedIn search, okay? Little search to join groups. Do this: biohacking, gut health, side hustles, fitness, nutrition, fitness, over 50, aging, dogs, horses, men's and women's groups. Guys, look at this. It's supposed to say it, I don't know how that changed, but when it comes to professional networking and B2B marketing, nothing beats LinkedIn. And that happened because Microsoft bought LinkedIn about 4 years ago, okay? And it's growing quickly, okay? You can look here. This is how you find the searches. They're safe. They're a lot easier to do groups on LinkedIn than on Facebook. I'm just telling you, okay? And then review your groups, okay? Groups you may like, suggestions, okay? The easiest way to navigate groups is you may like There's a group you may like feature. Okay, it's through, Lisa used it when looking at different jobs. There's little filters and stuff at the top that says jobs and groups and all this stuff. Look at what you can do, right? Go through your navigation menu bar, groups. You will see these options. Groups directory option is a primary search of area for LinkedIn groups. You can see the ones at the top: jobs, inbox, companies. Lisa can tell you it's unbelievable the jobs that are on LinkedIn. Am I kidding? So, and that's where you connect with people. Okay. Evaluate the quality of LinkedIn groups. Here's why. In some cases, you may have to join the group and spend time there to make that determination. Out of the 40 some that I joined, I found 10, and I'm active in them at least 30 minutes every week. Okay? Here are a few ways to evaluate the group. Who are the group managers? You can look, it'll tell you right on the side of the group. It's much easier than Facebook. Are they commenting? Are they engaged? Are you seeing them in your flow, right? What are the group roles? If the group roles do not exist or they are not written well, I bust out of those groups like crazy. That's why I joined 40 plus and then found 10. And now I'm gonna start rotating. I'll tell you some more about that. Are there lots of promotional links or abundance of self-promotional updates? Okay. Are the top influencers in the group credible? The ones that I'm in, all of them are credible. I went and did all the I started doing resources on people. Okay. Are the top influencers in the group credible? That's what I was saying, right? Is the group manager among the top influencers? This is a key. Guys, take a screenshot. If you guys want these slides, I'll give them to you. Okay? All right. So in a well-managed group, you're going to most likely see a manager who is visible throughout the discussions. Okay? You can see that person here is the manager, and you can follow Grace. She's the manager of the group, and it goes through and tells you things that she's doing. The quantity of membership and the activity level of a group aren't always correlated to whether the group is high quality, okay? I've seen some very large groups that are well managed and some very small groups that aren't managed at all, okay? That's how you can find this. You can see, you know, what the quality of the group is, and then stick with that. Guys, LinkedIn is growing so quickly, it's unbelievable, okay? So here's the last piece. In order to make LinkedIn groups serve as authentic forums for discussions and dialogue, we can all do our part to maintain the integrity of the groups we belong to, okay? That's what I want you guys to think about as you go through this, all right? Oh, see, and here, look, Chris said, I shared that slide that you had in your presentation. It created questions and I answered them and they upgraded. See, just look at that. That's just, you know, just think, you know, that's the key. So look at this. Additionally, LinkedIn is doing its part by helping group managers fight promotional posts, okay? If you're thinking about posting a discussion that contains the words me, my, or I, don't count on it showing up. Most likely it will end up under the promotions tab where it is highly unlikely that anyone will see it. Okay? Gotta think about these things. Guys, this is why LinkedIn is so awesome, okay? In order to successfully build influence in LinkedIn groups, your best bet is to authentically engage in discussions and contribute value-added insight. Stacy's in a group with me, the Relationships Beat Algorithms group, and George is in there every day bringing value. I've got a list of worksheets right here that George does with the Lighthouse and discovering your identity. Lisa and I did a 3-hour email marketing campaign with him that I gave to Ryan Goodwin. in order to, don't just drop into groups and promote your products or services. Do not do that. Create curiosity, pique people's curiosity. And you have to keep a notebook of the groups you're in and make reminders. So
Actually, a post-it note.
Yeah.
Well, no, for me as a reminder to like daily just kind of take a look and pick like one group a day. So you just spend 10 minutes on one group every day. I put down like Monday and what that group name is. Tuesday, that group. Wednesday, and I have it on a Post-it right on my laptop. I did that with my Facebook group, so you can do that with the LinkedIn groups as well, both.
And let me show you guys this. This is pretty cool. This is how cool LinkedIn is, okay? This actually shows me all of my groups over here on the side, okay? So these are my groups that I'm in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 groups, okay? So I'm in 12 groups. I'm looking at all kinds of different things: credit repair, international coaching, fitness, spiritual life, personal development, video insiders, all kinds of different things, okay? And then that's how you'll be able to tell. And then you keep a sticky note on your computer of the groups and when you're posting, okay? I'm going to post on Wednesday. I'm going to post in these groups on Saturday, 15 minutes, and then follow up. Guys, Messenger on here is phenomenal too. You can see I have all these different contacts now. I have it that, tomorrow is my day of following up. So what I'm trying to get you guys to understand is that a lot of you have issues with Facebook, and a lot of you are doing the wrong things on Facebook. Okay. I still think that James Hyden and Jason Kokinzie, I think that Jason Kokinzie and Erica Dale are the two best social media people in all of LifeVantage. And you're going to hear from her next week. I don't know if that's what she'll share, but I doubt it. But she'll probably blend a little bit of it in that. So let me ask you guys, does anybody have any questions about LinkedIn or about anything that's been shared tonight? Maybe you want to make a comment. Maybe you guys want to just say something to share. I've been super encouraged. Like, I'm super encouraged by Destiny, what she shared. I took her screenshots and saved them onto a note with her name on it. That's the type of people I want to work with. I don't care if it's 10 of you or 5 of you or 1 of you. Just Linda. I saw Linda at her first meeting she ever went to, and I feel like I know Linda much better now because Linda stayed the course, never quit, never gave up. So anybody have a comment or a question?
Well,
Reference LinkedIn. Do you do more comments, or do you do a lot more postings? Do you post videos, or do you just post pictures, kind of thing? Where do you go?
I do posts. I did a post of
Like an article.
Yeah, I did one post. The 15 leads I just got. I did a post on NAD and how there's a little post that talks about calorie restriction and precursors, and then activation of NAD. Didn't talk about the product. Didn't talk about any of that. Just piqued people's interest, and I had 20 comments in 10 groups. I put the same thing in all 10 groups, Stacy. It's not, you know what? It's not, and this is not directed towards you, it's directed towards me. I tried to make it too hard, It's not rocket science. It's just set an alarm on your phone. Post on LinkedIn today, 30 minutes, right?
Okay, another question for you. All the people that are following you, do you follow them into groups that they're in, or do you just kind of find groups and...
I take them into a private message and start creating a relationship with them.
Okay, you start new tribes with everybody that you talk to.
Everybody that comments, I create some type of relationship with them and see where it goes. I don't share it right away. I build relationships every single day with people like that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you got to keep track of the people that you're building relationships with. Destiny.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so I'm still exploring LinkedIn. There's a lot there to learn, but as far as Instagram goes, guys, like I thought Instagram was just something my teenage daughter had that drives me nuts, right? Like I did not have one. I did not see the purpose for it until I watched the social media training with Rachel Jackson. And, it's really, really great for building a business. It's even better than Facebook.
It really is.
And there's a lot of similarities to Facebook, so don't let it scare you away because it's very easy to learn, just like Facebook is. And I think it's the same developers or same owners or whatever.
No.
Yeah.
And so here's what I learned. So I'm glad that you share that, because I don't know if everybody can see my phone, but right here where you click on your story, okay? If you click on your story comes up, and this is one I just did on National Championship. If you look in the upper corner right now, there's another link right here with to add to it. So what I can do is I can click that on, and I can add to it, and then I can add it to Facebook. So
You link your two accounts together.
your two accounts, it'll post in my story on Instagram and Facebook.
And then
you can
post itself
Yes,
also.
it posts itself too.
You can actually track your business so well on that, because my daughter, so of all things, my daughter has actually went further with the training, and she showed me where I had shared one picture to my story on Instagram. I reached over 1,200 people. I don't have that many followers, but it was because of the hashtags I had on it and because of the people that I was following and the groups that they followed. And so there was actually, I think there was like 200 engagements or something like that. And like, I don't get more than two things on anything. You can really track your business. It's a real great business builder. And there's all sorts of tricks and stuff. And that thing I mentioned once before, it's I think it's called thecodetraining.com, but it's Rachel Jackson. That's where she has, it's like a 50-minute training video on social media, but it's in
our Freedom Fighters group. I put it in.
Yeah, it's amazing. You guys got to check it out.
Okay, anybody else have a question or a comment? Anybody? Nobody? Everybody?
I don't think you guys can hear me.
Now we can.
No, he said there's two. Go ahead, Tracy.
I just want to say this was amazing, Destiny. I am so, so, so proud of you. I do need to learn about LinkedIn and Instagram, and I knew that. A quick question. Have you guys
Together and send them to me. That'd be easy.
Okay, I'll do that. And thank you guys very, very much. Again, Destiny, I'm so proud of you. And Mike Curie and Lisa Curie, I'm proud to know you guys.
And let me just explain something to you what I found the last couple of weeks. A lot of people do this work, but they don't follow the system afterward. They don't get people in front of a presentation. They don't ask people to join. When Tracy and I see Tracy doing something, and I said, Michael, teach me how to do it the right way. Teach me how to do it better. How can I close people? How can I do this? Constantly asking questions, constantly not getting offended, not saying, well, I've got this covered or whatever. Just saying, hey, how can we do it better? I'm doing that. I've got people sharpening me. I'm so excited that my accountability partner is going to join LifeVantage. He's like, Mike, I'm ready. He took the Tri-Synergizer for 3 days, and he was like, oh my God, right? So it's a business, guys. This is a business. Treat it like a business, and you'll get a business return on it. I think there was somebody else. Was it you? Who was it? There was somebody else that unmuted, but I don't know who it was.
Andrea.
Oh, hey, Andrea, go ahead.
Hey, the LinkedIn stuff and the Instagram is going to be on the Freedom Fighter information?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I didn't screen saved it. I don't know how to do
That's
that.
okay. I'll put it in there. I'll do a Dropbox and put it in there tonight.
All right. Then I'll look for it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Real quick before we go. Guys, I do want to say one thing. You're going to be receiving...
Should take advantage of the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, yeah, guys, the Christmas specials are still going on. You can go on your website. Guys, use the mask. Girls, I did say guys, use the mask. Buy it. You should see Laura Lee's like 4 or 5 pictures of her friends that she bought it for that now are signing up as distributors. Start using the products on people. Sit down with them. Plan it out. Map it out. Make the time to do it. You guys you're gonna be glad that you did. You're gonna be glad that you did. I know. It's amazing. I'm going to use the mask this week because everybody's
You were
telling me.
supposed to use it a few days ago.
I know everybody's been telling me, but everybody tells me how good it is, and I'm like, I know. But I look at my skin is so good. I'm like, does anybody have a comment or anything else before we go? I thought tonight was really good. I hope it was good for you guys. I'm going to end the recording. I wanted to say again, congratulations to Amy for retiring. Yay. And that, guys, we're here for you even during the move. You know, I'm kind of looking at this place, and this week it's my time here is coming to an end. I'm going to start having meetings in Orlando. I've built so many incredible relationships in the 2 or 3 weeks I've been at this school, and just, you know, heck, our real estate. I think I'm going to sign up because I'm trying to see if Lisa will do it, but if she's not going to do it, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to sign up our real estate agent. She's like what, 30 some, and her health is like, she's on blood pressure medications, Lasix. I feel bad. I just texted her today and said, I'm going to help you get healthy. And she's like, please. Guys, there's people out there that are begging for you to give them this information.
Hey,
Begging for you.
I have to tell us a quick story.
Tell it.
One of my customers is one of my people I want to really have as a distributor. They have a thrift store and ministry in town. Well, my grandmother goes into the thrift store. Been working on my grandma forever. She's like, oh, my doctor said no. You know, doctor said no. So she goes in the thrift store. She's talking to the owner and his wife. She's talking about all her ailments and dialysis and blah, blah, blah. Well, they start saying, well, there's a girl here in town you've got to talk to. She's got this product, and it's got Ricky where he doesn't even notice his hands anymore. And he's doing this and he's doing that, blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, okay, give me your name. They go to hand her my card. And she says, no need. That's my granddaughter. And they said, well, why aren't you already taking it? And she says, oh, I'm so sorry. So she calls me and she says, after the first of the year, you have got a customer till the day I die. And I said, I was like, all right. So,
That's the way to build a following in a
yep. I told Fred, I said, how all good jokes start. Grandma walks into a thrift store. You know?
I love it. I'm glad you shared that. That encouraged me. It's awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to let you all go. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Have a great week. And for those of you that are going to Building Depth, I'll see you next week in St. George, Utah. I'm teaching on your why and your what, and I'm super excited. We get 30 minutes. And yes, you will.
What time do you come in?
Same time. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. I guess like 5, I think, or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. So,
It's Sunday.
yeah. So I love you guys. All right. Have a good one. Thanks for being.
Blessings, everybody.
All right.